My door originally had wing vents in it. I've already taken those out. So at this point, I need to remove the bracket that came in the door that actually held the wing vent in place. And that is this area right here. So I will cut that area out to make room for the one-piece glass. So I just use a thin blade on an angle grinder, and I will cut it out flush right here. This is one of the window tracks that came out of the door. These doors that had vent windows only had one per door. Now that we're going to be removing the vent windows and going to a single pane of glass, we're going to need two of these per door. Therefore, I'm going to have to make an additional one of these for each door. I noticed that the old window tracks have this little offset area where the mounting screws go. I'm guessing this is so that the screw head doesn't interfere with the window track felt. So on the new track that I built, I'm going to basically duplicate the same thing. So I've drilled a large hole in it, and then I will just weld this little piece that I made out of 1/8 inch thick steel, and then I will weld on top of that some 16 gauge steel, and then drill a small hole in there, and that'll give it the equivalent of this type of offset. So the final result looks something like this, which should work really well to countersink the head of that screw so that it does not interfere with the felt. For the sake of convenience, just like the original track, I went ahead and welded a tab on that will hold the window run felt in place. There's a bracket on the inside of the door that has a rubber bumper on it that's used as a window stop. This bracket has to be removed in order to make room for the power window unit. So I cut it out using tools such as these you see here. I've also now removed the metal bracket that was in the top of the door that held the wing vent in. So that's now been cut out as well. And I have fabricated a new window track for the door because it only had one on one side as stated earlier. So now here's the new window track about to be installed. Okay, I've now got the motor installed in the door, as you can see through the opening here. I say installed, it's bolted to my temporary window, but I still need to secure the motor actually to the door. So I'm going to build a bracket that goes all the way from the left side over to the right side to bolt the motor to. Now, if you build a bracket the full length, it'll have a tendency to get wedged into position and be difficult to get in and out. So I figured I'd make a two-piece bracket, which is what you see under construction here. So there's a left side and a right side, and I'm gonna put this little piece in the middle. It's actually split in the middle, as you can see there. And I'll simply weld it here and here. And then I can bolt it on this side, enabling me to get it in and out easily as a two-piece unit. And this is what the final assembly will look like. This motor mount bracket only bolts to the bottom, and there are actually still two more holes in the motor and then one in this metal track. Seems like it'd be a good idea to go ahead and attach those to this bracket, so I created this bracket right here. And so then what I'm going to do is simply line that all up, bolt it down, and then I'll weld it together right here, and that'll give everything a really solid foundation with every bolt hole being used. And here is the finished result.